Good evening. My name is Robert Hersh, and I'm a professor at WPI. The longer name is Worcester Polytechnic Institute. We're located in Massachusetts, about 100 kilometers west of Boston. I'm very sorry I won't be able to join you tonight at this wonderful conference, but I hope this short video can explain and illuminate a little bit about our collaboration with ΚΕΠΕΑ. So before our students discuss the project, I'd like to briefly talk about WPI's approach to environmental education. For more than 50 years, WPI has been a leader in project-based learning. Students at WPI are required as part of their degree to undertake a project not in their field of study. So, for example, a biologist might be working on a cultural heritage project with a local organization, or a robotics engineering student might be working on a project related to gray water or water resource considerations. WPI has some 40 project centers around the world where students spend an academic term, which for us is 7 weeks, working with a local organization full-time. This is the only academic work they're doing when they're at a project center. The idea is to help students work on open-ended, complex problems, very different from their laboratory work at WPI and the classes they take. These are open-ended projects, complex, and they invite the students to work with a number of different stakeholders. Syros, I'm happy to say, is one of our newest project centers. And as you watch this, the students and I most likely will be on a ferry coming to Hermopolis. We are very much looking forward to our time in Syros, and we are delighted to be working with ΚΕΠΕΑ and are extremely grateful to Alexis, Rubina, and Christos for giving us such a wonderful opportunity. I'll turn it over to the students now, who will discuss the HEROES project. Thank you very much, and I hope to meet you in Syros.
Thanks, Bob. So with our project, we plan to tell Gyaru's unique story and dual identity as a place of exile and protected marine environment through the implementation of a 3D model and AR interactive. So to do this, we've established 4 project objectives, starting with establishing an ongoing understanding of ΚΕΠΕΑ's expectations for the project. Then we plan to develop and produce a 3D model of the island and its key features, such as prison, implement an AR interactive to tell the ecological and historical significance of the island. And finally, after that deliverable is produced, we will assess visitor engagement with the model and interactive. So the basis of the 3D model is open source, publicly available topography data of the island that is then converted using various softwares into a format that is understood by manufacturing equipment such as 3D printers.
Unfortunately, this publicly available data doesn't include important aspects to the model, such as the prison itself. Obviously, this is a critical feature that must be included as it shows some important historical significance to the island. To overcome this limitation, we plan on visiting the site ourselves and using autonomously flying drones to map the prison and other important structures, and then combining it with the publicly available data in order to build a more thorough exhibit of the island and its history. These drones are very high-tech and will be following a predetermined flight path and take a series of images of the structures in order to capture the buildings in 3D space to a high degree of accuracy. To produce this model, we'll be using 3D printing technology, and a big limitation of this technology is the print size that you can use to produce the model. To do this, we're going to be splitting up the model into segments and using different attachment methods to go and combine them into a larger interactive experience. An important constraint for these pieces is that they're easy to put together and they're not permanent. So that way, if one breaks, it can be easily replaced in the future.
So now that we have the 3D model, we plan to implement an AR interactive to showcase the ecology and history of the island. We plan to do this by placing something you can scan somewhere on the model, so that visitors have something to interact with right away without needing to download any sort of apps or anything like that. After talking with ΚΕΠΕΑ to establish important content in the model, certain key points of interest will be embedded into the model for visitors to interact with using their personal devices.
Now that we've established the 3D model and AR interactive, we plan to assess visitor engagement using surveys, observational studies, interviews, and data analytics to inform design decisions. We want to give a huge thank you to our sponsors, ΚΕΠΕΑ and WWF. We can't wait to meet you guys in Zeros, and we can't wait to get to work.